He's been in some great sports films already. Any Given Sunday, My All-American. He was also in some great films. Aaron Brockovich played Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight, and now he plays Kevin Rooney in a spectacular film in a theater near you on November 18th about the life and times of Vinnie Pazienda. Bleed for this. He is Aaron Eckhart. Good to see you, Aaron.
Thank you.
You play Kevin Rooney in this film.
Yeah.
Staten Island's finest, Kevin Rooney.
Legendary boxing
And you're
trainer.
from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And how did you transform yourself? You look just like him and you sounded just like him in this film.
When I took this movie on, I then went and looked at a picture of him, and I said, oh boy, what am I up against? You know, I gained about 40 pounds. About a few months before I started filming, I circled a date on the calendar, and I said, okay, no more jump roping, cycling, running. That's it. And I traded in an arugula salad for, I used to eat a cheese pizza before I went to bed. I'd get up and have a dozen glazed donuts.
That sounds like a dream, actually.
Yeah, it was for about a day, and then it really catches up with you. But it's good because it puts you in the head of Kevin Rooney, because when we see him first in this film, he had just been fired by Tyson. He used to be Tyson's trainer.
Yep.
Tyson's heyday, you know, when he was knocking people out in the first round. And then Don King came in, and Kevin was out. And his reputation was in tatters. He was drinking, he was gambling. And that's where we first see him. And all that preparation that I did really put me in that headspace. Before that, I had been training with Freddie Roach. When Pacquiao was fighting Bradley the second time, Freddie took me in about 7 months before, and I was a fly on the wall. I would just come in there and watch and observe Freddie talk to his fighter, how he did the mitts, how he gave him water, toweled him down, how he managed him up and managed him down. And then I went to the fight in Vegas. I was in the locker room being wrapped.
No, hold on. You're in the locker room of
with Manny
Pacquiao.
Before he goes out. And then I sat next to Larry Merchant during the fight.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And then afterwards, when Manny won, I went back there, and interestingly enough, I never told this story. Somebody goes, Aaron, I want you to come meet Lance Armstrong, and because I'm a cyclist. And he happened to be in Bradley's dressing room. And I said, I can't go into Bradley. So we walked in there. There was nobody in there. There was Bradley. His head was down. He wasn't talking to anybody. His trainer was talking him down. And there's Lance Armstrong and his wife in the corner. And I go, hey, Lance, how you doing?
Just that's how you meet Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, and then I walked right out. I was like, what just happened right there? That was crazy. You know, and the thing that I got from that was just the desperation of a beaten fighter. There was nothing left of him. You know, it was such a good fight. Bradley did such a great job, but he was disillusioned.
Yeah, we were just talking before. I'm with Aaron Eckhart here on the Rich Eisen Show, Bleed for this, about what makes a good boxing film. And I'm like, what makes a good boxing film is when it's not about boxing.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and this film is a lot like that because it's just a Vinny's story with his dad, obviously, and Vinny's story with whatever demons were inside his own head.
Yeah.
And then your story too, Kevin Rooney's story. And again, just to show, again, how you transformed yourself. The first time you see him is when he's slumped over, passed out, pot belly, the whole thing. And I thought to myself, okay, I know Aaron Eckhart's in this film. I didn't know that was you. Because you don't know that's Kevin Rooney when you first actually see him on the screen. And how do you become somebody who is in the hospital with dementia, where you can't reach out and find out what Kevin Rooney's thinking or what was going through his life at the time?
Unfortunately, I was not able to reach out to Kevin. And, you know, there's just a wealth of knowledge from Tyson all the way back to Customato, his personal fights, because Kevin was a fighter. And so I watched everything, went on the internet. I worked out with his son. His son was in the Algieri Pacquiao. He was in the Algieri camp for the Pacquiao fight. So I went to that camp. And I was with Kevin Rooney Jr. and Jr. in that camp.
Wow.
And he took me through, for a few days in Vegas, we went through all of Kevin's moves, how he trains them. And, you know, the weight and everything really put you back on your heels. This guy was a fighter, you know, but he was so down that, you know, his weight, though, his posture had changed, his voice. He never lifted his arms. Here you have a great fighter who, it was at a point in his career where he now leans back on his heels. When he's training somebody, he doesn't move his arms. He barely moves his head. He was so depressed. He was so out of shape. But when you see Vinnie Paz come into his life, Vinnie Paz, to this day, is the most energetic. I mean, he's the Tasmanian devil. He is one of a kind, unique, charismatic, magnetic, energetic guy. So when those two got together, both at the bottom of their game, they were married. That was it. They created that sacred trust that a fighter and a trainer have, and it revitalized Kevin. It gave him life again.
And working out in his basement secretly while he's got a halo on his head because they didn't want his dad to.
Yeah, he gets in a car
out.
accident and breaks his neck and gets a halo. He's got screws in his skull, 4 screws. And 5 days after he gets out of the hospital, he is downstairs bench pressing, shadow boxing, and telling everybody that he's going to be middleweight champion of the world. And he did it. So this is an incredible story.
Bleed for This in the theater near you on November 18th. So what would be more unbelievable, the story of Vinny Paz or the Raiders winning the Super Bowl this year,
Well,
Aaron?
I'm here to promote the movie, so I'll say Vinny. I mean,
yeah,
but it's
6
a
and 2.
close. Yeah.
Now, you grew up, did you go to the Black Hole as a kid?
I went to the Black Hole last year. I was driving by with my girlfriend, and the Raiders were playing. And I didn't have tickets. I said, let's go. And we weaseled our way in. Listen. Well, we convinced the cops. I went into the VIP section. I drove and you know, at first then they recognized me and we got in there.
Okay.
Then we went into the middle of Raider Nation. And I said to my girlfriend at the time, I said, listen, do not look at anybody in the eye. I said, we're walking straight. You don't look at anybody. Yeah. Anybody gives us, you know, I schooled her. I mean, it was insane. Yeah. We go up there, couldn't get tickets at the box office, couldn't, you know, make any calls, you know. So we're walking out and finally go, we're scalping. That's it. And so we found this guy who was scalping, and I said, he's got 2 tickets and they're good tickets, blah, blah, blah. And I said, are you, you know, bull crapping us? You know, I want you to walk us up to the gate. He goes, I'll walk you up to the gate, man. So with my girlfriend, we go up to the gate, pay him the tickets with the cash. We're in. We go up there, and you know it's a jungle, right? We had the best time playing the Jets. Raiders dominated.
Yes, that usually is what happened when the Jets comes to the Black Hole. Yes, that's been the case.
Yeah, so everybody was happy
for many a year.
But I tell you, we did get out at halftime.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because it's tough. It's a tough spot to get in and out of every now and then. But you saw enough. You saw and you conquered. You got home. You got out.
I was a little worried for my friend.
Well, I remember when I was a reporter for the local ABC affiliate in Redding, California, where I got my TV start, and I covered a game at the Black Hole, and I wanted to just interview the people who are in the Black Hole. And there was a person who was right there in the front row with one of those. It's perfect for Halloween. One of those masks with the blood that comes down. And I interviewed him, like, what do you do normally for a living? And through the mask, Aaron, you heard muffled, I'm a kindergarten teacher.
No.
Yes. These folks are like regular people who just lose their minds when they walk in the Black Hole.
Yeah. And, you know, it's interesting if they move to Vegas, you know, which I'm not against that. And I think Vegas is a good town for the Raiders. I hate that they are going to leave Oakland, but I wouldn't want to go to anywhere else but Vegas. And hopefully they can stay in Oakland. Yeah, the phrase that we're trying to coin here on the Rich Eisen Show is silver and blackjack. Yes, just to figure that out. And we came up with, TM that. What do we have when Cube was in here? The logo that we had. Oh yeah, was the Raider pirate, but the patch is over Mo Green's eye that gets shut out. For the Las Vegas Raiders. I love it. You know, and again, this is a great film. It really is. You could tell the love that you have for the sport, but also just the travails that somebody like Kevin Rooney this is the boxing world. People are sacrificing their lives, and everybody around the boxer is just as much of a character as the boxer, and they're all sacrificing. Vinny's family sacrificed for him. The great thing I say about this movie is it's a movie about dreams. It's about having a dream and following your instincts when everybody else around you is telling you not to do something, but you know it's right for you. Vinny knew after he broke his neck that he was going to become champion again, and he did it. And luckily, his family and everybody came with him. But to me, it's a movie about dreams. Aaron Eckhart here on the Rich Eisen Show. A couple minutes left. Do you have any good Lawrence Taylor stories from any given Sunday? Anything from? Oh boy. I'll tell you a story about Any Given Sunday. It was my first. I wasn't even working that day. I just went up to set, right? Sure. And we were out there practicing, and there's Al with the team, coaching, and Dennis was to the right of me, and Oliver Stern comes up to me and he goes, there's hundreds of people around, and we're first day of filming or whatever. He comes up and he goes, "You ready for the big time, kid?" And I go, oh, I guess. What does that mean? And he goes, "Get out there and say something to Al." And I said, "Oliver, I'm not working today. I haven't been in makeup, hair, like that. I'm not working today." Right. He goes, "I don't care. Go out there and say something to Al."
To Pacino.
To Pacino, yeah, Pacino.
Sure, yeah.
So I walk out there. I don't know what to say. People are playing and whatever. So Al's like, "What are you doing here, kid? You're not working." So I go over, and in the background, there's a whole bunch of guys doing a drill. Football players, big dudes, okay? And I'm their coach, right? I'm the offensive coordinator. And so I go over there, I start running this drill. So Oliver calls action, and it's a pass come, and then they run over and give me the ball, or give the guy the ball. And in the middle of the take, the guys, because it was a long take, they quit. So I go up to this big 6'7" dude, and I get in his face, and I go, "You SOB, if I ever see you quitting in a drill," I just drilled him out. Cut. Okay. Guy looks at me and he goes, "You ever talk to me like that again, I'm gonna kill." And then I go, "Dude, I'm your coach."
That's right.
And he goes, "What do you mean I'm your coach?" I go, "I'm the offensive coordinator in this film." And then they all started cracking up.
Because you weren't in costume.
No, I was in costume. He didn't introduce me to anybody. I mean,
So you could have gotten literally
killed.
Did they use that take? Was it take used?
I have no idea. The whole movie was like that. I mean, it was absolutely bananas all the way through.
Well, that came through. That came through. Bleed for This in theaters near you November 18th. Aaron Eckhart, please come back.
I will.
Anytime.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.